Okay, so the next step is to work backwards, to be given a before value and an after value, and to answer the question, what's the percentage change that's happened? So there's a little warm-up. Let's just talk about multipliers. We've been using multipliers to calculate percentages, and I want to work backwards. So if this is the multiplier, what was the percentage change? So a multiplier of 1.24 is the same as a percentage of 124%. And you remember that the value you started with is always 100%. So that means that we must have had a 24% increase. So if you've used a multiplier of 1.24, you've increased whatever value it was by 24%. 0.71 as a percentage, 71%, but that's not a 71% decrease, is it? Because you've started with 100%. So it's a 29% decrease. So a multiplier of 0.71 is how you calculate a 29% decrease. Now I'm hoping that's okay. We've been doing that so far, where I've given you this and you've been using this. Today we're working the other way. So just pause the video for a moment and see if you can fill in the remaining values in that table. Okay, so there we are. Just be careful, that's not a 9% decrease, is it? It's a 91% decrease because you started with 100% and you've only got 9% left. And this is one that's easy to get confused as well. That's not a 45% decrease because you started with 100%, so it's a 55% decrease. Going from here to here is, most people can sort of see it, but what we're actually doing is we're multiplying by 100. So that step there is multiplying by 100, isn't it? Okay, so let's solve some problems then. In both of these questions, we're given a before and after, and we're asked a simple question. What's the percentage change? So I'm always going to set this out with a before and an after. This is my before box. This is my after box. And my question is, what's the multiplier? So in this first case, I've got 144 trees left standing out of 180 fruit trees to start with. So which is my before and which is my after? This is the only mistake we could possibly make, getting it the wrong way around. There were 180, they're now 144. To work out the multiplier, I always do the same calculation. It's the one we've done several times already. It's after divided by before. So I get 144 divided by 180. And if I do 144 divided by 180 in my calculator, I get 0.8. Now remember, that is the decimal equivalent of 80%, but that doesn't mean it's an 80% decrease, does it? We start with 100%, so if we've now got 80%, it was a 20% decrease. That's the answer to that question. Second one, again, before, after, going to work out my multiplier. So this time, his original throw was 60, and in the next competition, the after, he threw 72. So after divided by before this time has got the bigger number on top, because this is something that's got bigger. If I do 72 divided by 60, I get 1.2, which remember is the decimal equivalent of 120%. And that means that it's a 20% increase. So this sum here, after divided by before, is not always big number over little number or little number over big number. It depends. If you're talking about something that's going down, then you'll have your after, your smaller number, on the top. If you're talking about something that's getting bigger, then the after number will be bigger. That's the number that goes on the top. However, the secret is to always draw the picture. If you always draw the picture, there's no way you can go wrong. So those are the first two questions on the sheet I've attached to the class charts homework. I'd like you to have a go at the rest of them, and I will give you the answers on Monday. I hope you are all well.